Good minion. Good minion. Yes, yes, Despicable Me 3 was a good movie, yes, yes. No, no, it did not underperform at the box office. No, don't worry, minion. The families still find your movies attractive. Don't worry. You still run the world, minions. You still run the world. Hello there, friend. Oh hi, Gandalf Funko Pop from the Mines of Moria scene, moments before your death. Spoiler alert. Jeez, you are a disgusting mess, aren't you? Look at you. Ugh. So vile. Are those Spanish Cheetos? Ugh. Dearie me. And why are you here, Mr. Gandalf? Well, I'm just here, friend, to tell you that we must be reviewing Cars 3 very, very shortly. Cars 3? You freaking kidding me? That piece of crap? You do need to upload more. 2 videos in 2 weeks is mildly pathetic, to say the least. Give me a break. I know I need to upload more. You think I know that? You think I'm stupid? Look at my eyes, Gandalf. Do you think I'm stupid? Yes, well, you are eating Cheetos and drinking Capri Suns whilst cuddling a minion, so I say that your IQ levels aren't all that impressive. Would be wrong. But Cars 3, really. I could easily just review War for the Planet of the Apes and everyone would be happy. No one wants a review of Cars 3, and I mean no one. There might be someone out there who, rather enjoys the Cars franchise. Gandalf, get over it now. I'm not reviewing Cars 3. What if I give you a lifetime supply of Java cakes? Will that change your opinion? No. How about all 4 seasons of the Batman animated series? No. How about I kill your family and stuff their dead corpses in a blender? Ew, gross. No. You shall not review Cars 3. I shall not review Cars 3. Gandalf, even for you, that's a cheap trick. Do not take me for a conjurer of cheap tricks! Yeah, we get it. You're not a conjurer of cheap tricks. Who cares? I'm not reviewing Cars 3. Get over it. Well, what if I re-release Cars 2 in cinemas all across the globe? You can do that? Oh, yes, I can. Yes. And I will. If you don't review Cars 3. Please, Gandalf. Please. Anything but Cars 2. Please. That movie. You don't know how much that movie means to me. How much it hurts me. Yes. Yes. Please, Gandalf, no. I'll do it. No. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Yes. Yes. Sorry. The ring was getting a hold of me there. So you'll do it? Okay, fine, you got me. Screw you. I knew that any moment I'd have you sucking on my staff like a little child. Oh my. War for the Planet of the Apes is a really good movie. Not too fast, Cheetah Boy. I'm watching you. You cannot escape this. Nice. Cars 3 is a really bland and boring movie. Pixar have produced some of the most definitive classics of the last 20 years. And they have revolutionized computer animation to what it has become today. They are always top of the market when it comes to that sweet box office. And when it comes to generally groundbreaking storytelling. Some of my favourite movies ever have been from Pixar. They transcend the barrier between a family-friendly movie and a movie that can target more adult themes and things that really, really matter. All the while pumping out some of the most recognisable and fun characters ever put on screen. It's no surprise to say that I am a huge fan of Pixar. However, Pixar are not without their flaws, and the Cars franchise is one of their flaws. The first Cars movie, as a kid, I absolutely adored. I lived for Cars, the movie, as I used to call it. Lightning McQueen was my role model. Mater. I liked Mater, I thought he was funny. And I used to go around the house saying, I'm Mater and I'm a backwards driver. And that's really cringy. And I wish I never did that. However, I love the first Cars movie. I guess you could say I grew up with the Cars franchise. That first movie is okay, I think. I guess if I went back and watched it now, I would think it was like, okay, that's a fairly good movie. It isn't too bad. It's nowhere near as excellent as some of the other Pixar projects, but I guess it's still a pretty solid flick. However, when it comes to the sequel to Cars, Cars 2, things started falling apart. The way I think of Cars 2 is that it's a Lightning McQueen's fever dream, and it's all just a nightmare in his head, because that movie is so hard to sit through, and it's so pointless, and it serves little to no purpose to actually exist, and most of it doesn't even make sense. That I just don't see it as being a proper movie. In my humble opinion, it is not only a failure for Pixar, but it is a reprimandable failure for cinema generally and for animation. It's nearly as bad as the Minions movie. They're like toe to toe, Minions and Cars 2. Absolute failures. So it's fair to say that I absolutely hate Cars 2 with a burning passion. So I was sort of mixed for Cars 3. The advertising and the marketing was absolutely stunning, actually. The first teaser trailer where you saw Lightning McQueen tumbling down the racetrack in ashes and as a burning wreck. I thought that was just really, really intriguing. And I was like, oh, maybe they're actually taking the Cars franchise in a slightly darker direction. Of course, the other trailers after that didn't show much more of that, so I was like, so maybe it'll just be like another Cars movie. Maybe I kind of just got the feeling that we were going to see Cars again. And I would be right, because it kind of is just a little bit of a rehash of everything you've seen that in the first Cars movie. Is that a bad thing though? Is that really an absolutely rotten idea? Not really. Because after the failure that is Cars 2, this is kind of a refreshing return to the Cars franchise that the fans are familiar with, and the Cars movie that people actually want to see. I'd have to say I was feeling quite nostalgic during Cars 3. It was such a weird feeling, especially surrounded by children in that very cramped small auditorium. I was just like, I'm probably the person he's enjoying this the most here. This movie isn't even that good. Based off pure nostalgia alone, this movie, I at least drove through this movie. Really. Unintentional pun. Yeah, well, I guess the nostalgia is what kept me in my seat, I guess, because the rest of the film ain't that great. It is solid. It's like a good base level, you know, like you can withstand it, and you can pass it off as like, oh, it can be a fun, family-friendly movie, you know, but it's still quite disappointing, and overall, it's really boring and bland and kind of just. I've seen this before, and you're not really doing anything different to surprise me, and I can predict everything that's going to happen in the third act by the things that are set up in the first act, and that's not a good thing. The second act is the worst for pacing. Nothing happens, it just keeps dragging on and on. And the emotional beats just don't hit. They try to have all these big moments for the characters and stuff like that, but they're just so unwelcome. It doesn't matter in the end. Also, the humor doesn't hit. The humor in this movie is quite atrocious. There isn't that much of it, which is good. It's not like every line is like a fart joke, which, I mean, I don't think there are any fart jokes, but like, it's not like every line's something stupid, but the jokes they do try to aim for aren't funny because they're so badly timed and executed. And even on paper, I don't think anyone will laugh at them. So yeah, all those aspects of the film are really poor, which makes it kind of insufferable to a point during the second act when it has to rely on those aspects. The movie starts out fairly solid. Yeah, it's. I was like, oh wait, this is the Cars I'm familiar with. I'm getting that old nostalgia feeling that I mentioned earlier. And I was like, no, it's not bad. It's okay. At least it's Cars I'm familiar with. At least it's something I know. Something I want to see. And then they get into the actual plot of the movie, and then it kind of just dies. Really, the highlights of this film are the start of it, like the first 20 minutes, and the last 20 minutes, because that's when the actual races take place, and everything in between just feels like filler. There are a few nice moments sprinkled throughout the runtime of the flick, and there are even a few really nice set pieces which I was surprised at. I was like, wow, this is really entertaining action in a Cars movie, and I was like, okay, I'm pleasantly surprised by this. However, the main flaw is that it's trying too hard to make up for the mistakes of Cars 2 and just be a Cars movie for the fans, and really it just leaves it with it being nothing more than just Cars revamped. The plot itself is sort of interesting. Lightning McQueen, he's okay in this movie. Lightning McQueen isn't that great of a character in the first place. He's a little bit of an asshat at times, which is something I realised during this movie. He realises that he is being usurped by the younger, more advanced racers, and he has to kind of learn to adapt, and he's kind of forced into retirement, but he kind of refuses this, so he's kind of dealing with that throughout the whole movie. However, they don't execute that well enough for it to be interesting, and I don't think you care that much about Lightning McQueen in the first place. And then they introduce Cruz Ramirez, who's just kind of annoying sometimes, but I mean, I guess she fills a hole during the end, and during the third act, and you start like, okay, maybe I do care a little bit about Cruz Ramirez, which is such a stupid name. As is Jackson Storm, who is the main antagonist. He has almost no character. He's just like, he's just there to say, oh, I'm a big fan of Lightning McQueen, but I can't wait till I meet him. Did you say meet or beat? I think you know. Like, that's all he has to say the entire runtime of the movie is just like, I can't wait till I beat Lightning McQueen again, and that's all his character is. He's not very interesting. Much like this movie, it's not very interesting, but it's just like you can suffer it enough that, I mean, you'll be like, okay, well, it was worth some of the money I paid, unlike Transformers Last Night, which was worth nothing, and I hate it, and why did I ever see that movie? One thing though about these Cars characters, though, is that they're so visually bland, and they're so visually deprived of really anything to resonate with. There are no really emotional features in their face. Nothing really to connect to, and their character designs are just so boring. They're just cars with like these really terrible eyes. The eyes are awful. They're like copied and pasted onto the windshield, and these mouths that move on the bonnet. The bonnets are like so plainly designed that they don't really look like bonnets, and it's all just awful. It's so uninspiring to look at compared to some other great character designs that we have out there. One thing Ralph the Movie Maker says, who's a much more successful reviewer than I am, you should check him out. In his Minions review, he talks about how you should be able to tell what these characters are about by just looking at a still of them. This film completely fails on that level, because if I looked at a still of Jackson Storm or Cruiser Ramirez or Lightning McQueen, it would be difficult to tell if they're even male or female. And that's not the film being like really progressive or anything. No, it's just a flaw. It's a complete design flaw. There's almost no real creative effort to make these car characters into something that we can actually enjoy visually, and something that can inspire artists in the animation industry to actually strive for more, because I guess Pixar gets away with the laziness that is so present in these cars. Guys, this year hasn't been too hot for animation, and I can't see it being any better. The emoji movie releases in like 6 or 7 days, and everyone's looking forward to that for the wrong reasons. The Despicable Me 3, another sequel, released just a few weeks ago. No one asked for that, but they dished it out anyway. Cars 3, which I reviewed there now, of course, released, and no one asked for that either. And I reckon the only good animated movie that I can think of right now, that is released in 2017, is the Lego Batman movie. And Lego Ninjago is coming out on October 13th, and I reckon they will be the only good animated movies coming this year that people will actually see, and will be kind of indie projects, which are always great. They will be the only animated movies this year that will actually be good and wanted, and the only ones that I'm really looking forward to. So great year for animation, guys. Looking forward to seeing who wins the Oscar, I guess. Coco might be okay. I think that's coming out later this year. It might be actually very intuitive, inventive Pixar film, but we'll see. But as for now, I don't have high hopes for animation for the rest of this year. But overall, the main flaws of this film is that it's just kind of bland and boring, and it's just everything I expected it to be, and it was just all around very predictable, which was just made the whole experience worse, I guess. It's not awful. It's definitely not an awful film. I don't really think it's bad. It's just like, it's so meh. But I can't really see anyone who isn't a huge fan of this franchise already, or their soul wasn't completely crushed by Cars 2. I don't see anyone else apart from that group that could actually enjoy this movie, I guess, which is like, I guess this movie just swept me along with the nostalgia, and that's how I stay seated. But apart from that, I don't think it has much going for it. It's just nostalgia with a predictable plot and characters you may or may not care about. I hope Pixar clean their act up a little bit. They seem to be going on a little bit of a franchising route here, with numerous sequels and such. They had Finding Dory last year, which I thought was incredibly entertaining. Definitely a lot of fun. But I do want to see more original flicks being pumped out of the machine that is Pixar. I want them to go back to their kind of glory days, where they had really intuitive films that pushed the boundaries of animated cinema, and unfortunately they're not doing that anymore. They're just making movies to sell toys and have families go to and go, hey, that was a fun way to spend 2 hours. I didn't really feel anything. There was no emotional message. Cars 3 didn't have any emotional message, and I didn't learn to become a better human or anything, which is what WALL-E and Up and Monsters Inc. and Toy Story taught me. But hey, at least we have something to buy our kids for Christmas now. That's all Cars 3 is, guys. I'm gonna give Cars 3 a C. Yeah, I'll give it a C. That's like a sort of it's just an okay grade. Yeah, I'll give Cars 3 a C. I wasn't even sure about that one. I didn't know what I was going to give this movie because it's just so forgettable. So anyway, I'm Jordan McPhil myself. This is probably the one video that I put the least effort into because I didn't want to give Cars 3. I didn't want to devote that much work into Cars 3 because it doesn't really deserve it. And don't go see this movie. Yep. I'm Jordan McPhil myself, as I said before, and hopefully in the upcoming days, before I go on holiday on Wednesday, I'll have a War for the Planet of the Apes movie review out, and you can look forward to that. It'll be a lot better than this. I'll put a lot more effort into it. I have to include the skit at the start to make this video a little bit more worthwhile. See you in the next video, and stay cool beans. And I'm not going to dab because I know that will make you die of a cringe attack. Bye.